Sometimes skipping school isn't about rebellion, it's about freedom. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986, captured that spirit perfectly. John Hughes' coming-of-age classic turned one kid's ditch day into an anthem for living in the moment. But behind the fun, the Ferrari, and that unforgettable parade scene, the movie's production was as chaotic as Ferris's day itself. There were feuds, broken cars, improvised lines, and even secret cast romances that changed how scenes were filmed. So before you take another sick day, let's rewind the clock to Chicago, 1986, and explore 20 weird facts you didn't know about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Number 1. John Hughes wrote the script in less than a week. Director John Hughes didn't spend months outlining Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He wrote the entire script in just 6 days. He said the story poured out like a conversation with his teenage self. Hughes often worked this way, writing The Breakfast Club in planes, trains and automobiles in similar bursts. Ferris came from his love for Chicago and his own tendency to ditch responsibility. The speed of writing actually helped the film. It captured the impulsive, free-spirited energy that defines Ferris. Hughes always said it was his love letter to youth, written before adulthood could talk him out of it. Number 2. The Ferrari wasn't a real Ferrari. That iconic red Ferrari 250 GT California wasn't genuine. The production used 3 replica cars built by Modena Design and Research because renting or buying a real Ferrari was far too expensive. The real thing cost over $300,000 in the 80s. Only one car was fully functional, while the others were shells used for stunts. The most famous shot, where the car crashes through the glass garage, used a lightweight fiberglass version. Director John Hughes said destroying a real Ferrari would have destroyed the movie's budget. Still, car enthusiasts were so impressed by the replicas that they became collectible legends on their own. Number 3. Matthew Broderick almost didn't get the role. Matthew Broderick wasn't the first choice for Ferris Bueller. The studio considered Jim Carrey, John Cusack, and even Tom Cruise. But John Hughes insisted Broderick had the right mix of charm and mischief. Someone you'd believe could talk his way out of anything. Broderick's dry wit and boy-next-door face made Ferris feel authentic, not cocky. Ironically, Hughes thought Broderick might be too clean-cut at first, but one screen test changed his mind. Broderick later said Ferris was his favorite character to play because he was the kid everyone wanted to be. The role made him a Hollywood star overnight.
Cameron, wake up! Oh, wake up! Hey, wake up! Oh shit, Cameron, come on, Cameron!
Number 4. Ferris Bueller and Sloane dated in real life. Matthew Broderick and Mia Sara, who played Ferris and Sloane, fell for each other during filming. Their on-screen chemistry wasn't acting. They were actually dating. Crew members noticed their genuine affection and adjusted certain romantic shots to capture it naturally. Even though their relationship didn't last long after production, both actors admitted that being together made their scenes feel more real. Their quiet tenderness contrasted Ferris's over-the-top humor, grounding the film's emotional core. Director John Hughes encouraged them to forget the script and just talk like teenagers in love, leading to some of the film's most believable moments. Number 5. Cameron's house was a real architect's home. Cameron Fry's modern glass house, the one where the Ferrari meets its doom, wasn't a set. It's a real home located in Highland Park, Illinois, designed by architect A. James Spire. Built in 1953, it's a famous example of mid-century modern architecture, featuring open glass walls and forest views. The owners agreed to let the film crew shoot there, but insisted the crash scene not damage the structure. Hughes used a breakaway replica of the garage wall instead. The house later became a tourist attraction, drawing architecture buffs and Ferris Bueller fans alike. To this day, locals still call it the Cameron House.
You ought to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
Number 6. Charlie Sheen's cameo was shot after an all-nighter. Charlie Sheen's brief but unforgettable cameo as the delinquent in the police station became a cult favorite. To look convincingly strung out, Sheen stayed awake for more than 48 hours before filming. His glassy-eyed stare and detached tone weren't acting. He was genuinely exhausted. The Zucker brothers originally suggested him for the role after seeing his energy on set from another project. Sheen improvised most of his dialogue with Jennifer Grey, creating a strangely calm chemistry between the two. That short appearance helped launch his image as Hollywood's bad boy years before his Platoon fame.
He would not go back to school.
Yeah, he'd do it. He'd just do it just to make me sweat.
Cameron, come on.
Number 7. Ferris was inspired by a real person. John Hughes based Ferris partly on a real high school friend, a charismatic prankster who never got caught skipping class. Hughes said this friend always had the best excuses and the biggest imagination. He combined that personality with his own rebellious streak and created Ferris as a wish fulfillment fantasy, a kid who could beat the system and still look cool doing it. Hughes called Ferris the voice of confidence I never had as a teenager. It wasn't just about skipping school. It was about daring to live without fear, even for one perfect day.
Today, we have a similar debate over this. Anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone seen this before?
Number 8. Ben Stein's iconic Bueller wasn't in the script. Ben Stein's monotone Bueller wasn't written that way. The line was ad-libbed during filming. Stein, who was actually an economics professor before acting, delivered his lecture as he would in a real classroom. His deadpan voice had the cast and crew laughing so hard that Hughes kept rolling. Stein later said he was shocked people found it funny since he was genuinely trying to sound boring. The phrase Bueller became one of the most quoted lines in movie history, even appearing in commercials and memes decades later. Number 9. The parade scene was real and dangerous. That legendary downtown parade wasn't staged in a closed environment. It was filmed during an actual Chicago parade. The filmmakers inserted their float among the real ones without telling the crowd. Matthew Broderick performed Danke Schoen and Twist and Shout live, surrounded by thousands of unsuspecting spectators. Many thought it was a genuine city event. Director John Hughes later said they only had one take to get it right. The energy you see from the crowd was completely real, spontaneous reactions to an unplanned spectacle that stopped traffic and created movie magic. Number 10. The Twist and Shout scene. Took 2 days to shoot. Even though it looked spontaneous, the Twist and Shout sequence required 2 full days of filming. The parade choreography was complex, involving hundreds of extras, cameras on cranes, and live music cues. Broderick rehearsed for hours to perfect his dance steps while lip-syncing to the Beatles track. The entire downtown area was partially closed for the scene, creating logistical chaos. Hughes said it was the most ambitious sequence he'd ever filmed. The effort paid off. The performance became one of the most memorable moments in 1980s cinema. The Beatles' song even re-entered music charts after the movie's release.
Wrong.
What? Not here.
Number 11. Alan Ruck was much older than a teenager. Alan Ruck, who played Cameron Fry, wasn't even close to high school age. He was 29 during filming. Yet his awkward energy and nervous mannerisms convinced audiences he was a genuine teen. Ruck joked that the crew called him Grandpa Cameron behind the scenes. Director John Hughes didn't mind the age gap. He felt Ruck's maturity added depth to Cameron's internal struggles. In fact, Ruck's performance made Cameron one of Hughes's most relatable characters, a kid paralyzed by fear of disappointing his parents. Even decades later, Ruck says people are stunned when they learn he was nearly 30 during Ferris's wild day off.
Shit, I hope he doesn't die. Can't handle summer school.
Number 12. Ferris's bedroom was packed with real memorabilia. Ferris Bueller's bedroom wasn't just a teenage dream. It was a time capsule of 1980s culture. Set decorators filled it with authentic Chicago posters, Beatles records, and actual gadgets from the decade. The synthesizer Ferris uses to fake his sick noises was a real emu emulator too, which cost nearly $8,000 back then. Every prop was handpicked to make Ferris feel real, from the stereo system to the sports pennants on his wall. John Hughes believed you could learn everything about a character from their bedroom, so he personally approved every item. It wasn't a movie set, it was Ferris's world.
Thank God you're all right. You know, we've been worried sick about you.
13. Jennifer Grey and Matthew Broderick's relationship complicated filming. Jennifer Grey, Jeannie Bueller, and Matthew Broderick began secretly dating during production. Initially, it was adorable. The cast found their chemistry charming, but their real-life relationship caused tension between takes, especially during scenes where they had to act like feuding siblings. Crew members said they sometimes argued like real brother and sister. A year later, their romance became public after a tragic car accident in Ireland involving the two. The fallout cast a shadow over their relationship and slowed both their careers. Still, on screen, that spark of love mixed with rivalry helped make their dynamic unforgettable. Number 14. The principal's actor took his role too seriously. Jeffrey Jones, who played Principal Ed Rooney, fully committed to his character's obsessive hatred of Ferris. On set, Jones stayed in character between takes, chasing extras around and muttering Ferris's name. Hughes encouraged it, saying, "The more ridiculous, the better." Jones studied slapstick comedy legends like W.C. Fields to nail the timing of his pratfalls. Ironically, while the movie turned Rooney into a comic villain, Jones reportedly saw him as the only adult doing his job. His cartoonish performance, especially in the dog attack and house invasion scenes, gave Ferris Bueller's Day Off its Looney Tunes energy. Number 15. The museum scene was shot like a love story. The scene in the Art Institute of Chicago wasn't just filler. It was a love letter to art and innocence. Hughes wanted to capture a sense of quiet discovery amid Ferris's chaotic day. The slow shots of Cameron staring at Suras a Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte were designed to reflect Cameron's inner crisis. Each cut mirrors his emotional unraveling as he fixates on a tiny painted child's face dissolving into dots. Hughes said it symbolized Cameron losing his boundaries. The scene's elegance contrasts sharply with the film's wild tone, a calm moment of self-reflection in a day of chaos.
Okay.
Thanks,
Watch
lad.
the seat. Sorry.
Number 16. Ferris's Day Off. Took 11 weeks to film. Though the story unfolds over one carefree day, filming stretched across nearly 3 months. Hughes shot the movie entirely in Chicago, but weather delays and scheduling issues slowed production. The parade sequence alone took 2 days, the museum 2 more, and the house scenes nearly a week. Despite the extended shoot, Hughes insisted on capturing genuine Chicago sunlight for outdoor scenes. No studio lights allowed. That realism gives the movie its warm, summer day glow. Cast members later said the long shoot helped them truly live Ferris's day, making every scene feel like a memory, not a performance.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Number 17. The post-credits scene changed movie endings forever. Before Ferris Bueller's Day Off, few movies included post-credit scenes. Hughes decided to add one as a fun reward for fans who stayed. When Ferris peeks out of the hallway and says, "You're still here? It's over. Go home." Audiences went wild. It was an early form of meta-humor, Ferris breaking the fourth wall one last time. The scene became so popular that decades later, it inspired Marvel's post-credit tradition. Ryan Reynolds even paid homage in Deadpool, recreating the exact robe and line as Ferris. What started as a throwaway gag became a film industry trendsetter.
This suit is one of my personal favorites. You're out of your mind. Do you realize how many people saw you? You're nailed.
Number 18. The school wasn't real, it was two different locations. Shermer High School, Ferris's fictional alma mater, didn't actually exist. The exterior shots came from Glenbrook North High in Northbrook, Illinois, John Hughes's real high school. The interior scenes, however, were filmed at Maine North High School, which was already shut down. The gym, halls, and classrooms you see were all remnants of that abandoned building. Hughes used the same school for the Breakfast Club. By blending two schools into one, Hughes created the perfect everytown American high school, familiar yet timeless. Fans still visit both sites to take photos where Ferris and Jeannie once walked. Number 19, the film was added to the National Film Registry. In 2014, Ferris Bueller's Day Off was selected for preservation in the U.S. Library of Congress National Film Registry, recognizing its cultural and historical significance. It wasn't just a teen comedy anymore. It was officially an American classic. The registry praised it for capturing the spirit of youthful rebellion and the beauty of Chicago. John Hughes's blend of humor, emotion, and humanity made the film endure across generations. For many, Ferris became the ultimate symbol of living life your own way, and that message still resonates decades later. Number 20. The message of the movie was almost cut. The most famous line, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it," was nearly removed by the studio. Executives worried it was too serious for a comedy ending. Hughes refused. He argued it was the soul of the story, the lesson Ferris teaches without preaching. The line stayed, and it became one of cinema's most quoted philosophies. Hughes later said if he'd cut that line, Ferris would have just been a smart kid skipping school. Instead, it turned him into a cultural icon. Ferris Bueller's Day Off wasn't just a comedy, it was a celebration of youth, rebellion, and joy. John Hughes made a movie about skipping school that became a lesson in living fully. It's strange, funny, touching, and deeply human, a reminder that even one day can change your perspective forever. So next time life feels too fast, take Ferris's advice, stop, look around, and enjoy the ride.